I'm going to talk about purchasing and how to fill out a purchasing request form. Clubs can use their funds to purchase food, club t-shirts, office supplies, printing, national dues, travel, and other things needed to run the club. Depending on what you're buying will determine the way you pay for the item. Filling out the purchasing request form will help the club's office determine the way you purchase the items you're requesting. So, here are a couple things to know. We want you to plan in advance. Standard purchases from dining services, the copy center, and purchasing food and prepackaged items from the store can take up to 3 weeks to process. So, the best practice to fill out the form is 4 to 6 weeks prior to your event. Number 2 is all purchases must be pre-approved through the club's office, and the club must have an email approval before the purchase is made. If not, this will result in a violation, and if the club repeatedly breaks the rule, purchasing privileges will be removed from your club, which we don't want to happen. So make sure that you always purchase stuff with that approval email. Number 3 is Amazon purchases are made by the club's office using our Amazon business account. I'll go into a little bit more detail when we fill out the form, but basically if you would like to purchase decorations or a prize off of Amazon, when you fill out the form, you'll just specify that you would like them purchased from Amazon, and then we will handle that for you. And the last one is if you choose to purchase items with branded designs or logos, that can extend the approval period. So just make sure that if you want t-shirts or something with like the club's logo or your club's specific club's logo, that can take more than 4 to 6 weeks. So just make sure you're planning in advance. So let's go through the form. You're always going to start with the UVU Club's website. You're going to scroll down, click on the club forms. That will open up another tab for you, and then you will click right here at the purchase approval request. That will populate the form on your Connect page. So let's fill it out. Again, it's going to have all the same things that we just went through, just as a reminder for you, 3 to 4 weeks prior. And then it'll ask all of your basic information like your name, ID, club name, position in club, a good email address that you check often. Please put a good email address because sometimes people will put their school one and they don't check that very often. So make sure you can even put your Gmail. That's totally fine. A good phone number, the event title. For me, it's going to be a club game night. That's just for my example. The date of your event and then the location of your event. That is decided when you book your event with the scheduling request. So make sure that you're just putting that on there. And then this is where it changes. So the form, we call it a smart form in the club's office, and that basically means that it'll populate specific questions to what you decide. So if you click on food, it's going to only ask you questions regarding to that. Same thing with shirts, prizes, clothing, publicity, fundraising. It's going to populate questions depending on what you pick. So for my example, we're just going to do food. And then where are you purchasing your items? This is also going to determine what card or mode you use to pay. So if you're doing an Amazon purchase, that's going to be through the club's office. If you do dining services in the copy center, that's going to be through your club's index code, which is just a virtual payment transaction. And then if you want to buy stuff from Costco or a local store like Walmart, then you will take our club's office P card. So for this, we're just going to click the local store. And then right here, just make sure you're specific in whatever you want to buy. So for my example, we're just going to do pizza, but I also put here, if you want to do shirts, make sure you list specifically what you would like, what sizes. If you don't know prices, that's okay because there will be other questions for that. And then the reason for your purchase, just put a couple sentences as to why. So for the pizza, we're going to do a club's game night. You could just say, we want pizza to enhance the activity. We want to feed our club members, anything like that. And then what's the approximate total of your purchase? For pizza, it's probably going to be between 1 and 200, but I would always overestimate. So if you're going to spend, let's say like 195, put 200 to 300 just to give yourself that extra buffer. Even though you're not going to probably hit that $300 limit, just give yourself that extra buffer because what we don't want you to do is go over budget, and then that will cause a red flag for you and then you'll get a penalty. So you'll click that. When do you need to purchase the items? That just depends on you. If you're going to go to the store, I would say maybe a couple days to a week before. If you are going to purchase stuff on Amazon, our club's office will help you with that, as well as t-shirts. Once you do all that, it's a really short form. Make sure that you click submit after you do your submission, and then that will take you to this page. Once you see your form is successfully submitted, you're good to go. The club's office will approve your form, and then that's when you receive your email approval. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let your club ambassador know or the club's office. But for detailed videos on how to use the P card, dining services, or the copy center, please see the other videos under the purchasing series. That will go into more detail for you as to how to use those things.